Hello and welcome to this week's Cari Connects. I am psychic medium Cari Muggs, and each week I pull a card from a deck to let you know what's coming up for the week and the signs and symbols to watch for. So this week we are using a deck by John Holland. It's one of his new ones. It's called the Psychic Tarot of the Heart. It's really not a tarot deck. It doesn't have the certain cards that a tarot deck has. It is more of an oracle deck, but it's really, really cool anyway. So each card on the back, if you are listening on my podcast, has like a leprechaun heart flower, like it's green hearts, but it looks like almost like green, like a clover. So, and it's a really beautiful deck. There's just lots of different pictures inside that, as you can see, the heart chakras, different symbolism. So this is hopefully going to be a more simple week than the last couple of weeks have been, because I'm just telling you that full moon and eclipse and retrograde all at the same time was crazy. And it like lasted for a while. I feel like it's been going on the last 3 weeks. So yes, so hopefully I just wanted something more simple, but just because I want it doesn't mean that's what spirit wants, right? Or that's what's coming. So, oh shit. You guys. Okay, so I am not a negative Nelly, and I like to put good things out there, but I also like spirit pulls it or spirit brings it through. I got to go with it, right? So this week, you might feel a little bit of sadness and isolation, okay? Process it. Don't just ignore it. Don't think you're crazy. Don't think you're stupid. And I feel bad because I was hoping this was going to be like all airy-fairy and, the good things are coming now. And this is true though. Seriously, let's put a good spin on it. Let's have our mindset, right? Like growth is not easy peasy lemon squeezy. Growth is you got to go through some of the stuff to get to the good stuff, right? So if you're feeling, this is actually kind of good, because if you're feeling sadness and isolation, kind of feel yourself, know yourself, know your body, know your spirit, and know that, is this something that you need help with and that you need to seek help, or is it something that you can process and do on your own? So just know that this week might have that bump, or you could have felt it last week. Some people tell me that they're a week behind. So just kind of know that this might come, and you might feel alone, and you might feel a little sad, and it's okay, because you don't always have to be happy. It doesn't always have to be light and fairy and airy. This doesn't mean you're going to be sad and isolated all week. It just means you might have a time this week or last week that you are. And the main thing Spirit wants you to know is you're not alone. You have a spiritual team. And this is where you might figure out who is with you and helps you through this, or who's going to be with you through the sad times too. And don't always judge people by whether or not they're with you in the sad times, because sometimes they're at their limit and they don't have the capacity. So don't feel like, well, she wasn't there for me for that. Sometimes that's okay, because sometimes they're going through their own thing and they're at their limit, because we have this dam, right? We have this dam and the water goes up and up and up. And sometimes when the water starts to overflow, we are done. We're at capacity. We can't take on one more thing. And that's what happens with self-care, is if we do that and the water starts to overflow, we get overwhelmed. And so if you need to reach out to somebody this week, or you feel sad or isolated, know your limits, know what you can handle, know what you can't handle, know if your dam is starting to get overfilled. And we kind of had that last week. Was last week the desert, where it was overwhelmed? So just kind of feel yourself out this week. Know where you're at. Be aware of your feelings. Be aware of what you're going through. And just know that sometimes sadness and isolation is a thing that we all go through. Everybody goes through it. Now, if you think that you are in deep despair, please seek help. So, and what I love about this too is see how sadness and isolation is down here, and then she comes out of it, or this person comes out of it, and there's like a white light. So if you're listening to this, underneath the surface is a sad kind of person in the fetal position, But outside the surface is this person that rises in the ashes, or fights it, or conquers it, or finds the solution. So just know that, and it is surrounded by light, and this is that light that you have within inside you. So this week, when you're sad and isolated, dig deep inside and find that light. Give yourself, I tell my kids all the time, give yourself a couple, 2 days, 2 or 3 days, eat the ice cream, do all the things, but then pull yourself up, put your big girl panties on or big boy panties on, and pull yourself up and figure it out. If you can't put your big girl panties on and figure it out, that's when you need to seek help, okay? You need to look for help outside of yourself, and that's okay. So the signs and symbols to watch for, obviously, I'm going to say water, any kind of water like ocean or ocean line or any kind of water right there. Any kind of swimming, like if you're swimming, or it's kind of getting summer, so you might go swimming a lot, and also to see this ring around her, this orb of light. So any kind of light that helps. And also too, the numbers are 333, which is perfect because 333 is when your spiritual team and your guides are with you 100%, guiding you and directing you and leading the way. And I'm also going to take the back of the card because it just stood out to me. So any kind of green hearts this week, green hearts, because green is healing, and healing the heart chakra, or the heart chakra part. That's where sometimes the shadow effect of that can be isolation and solitude. So we're going to look for green hearts, the color green. This whole picture has green all the way around it. Any type of swimming, any type of if you are scrolling on Facebook or you're watching TV and you see any type of competitive swimming or anything like that, that counts. And also too, or if you just are scrolling and people are showing that they went swimming that day. Also too, there is an orb right here above this ring of gold. So any type of ring of gold, there's a ring of gold around this lady's head while she's emerging through the water, out of the water, out of the sadness. So any kind of rings of gold. So I'm going to repeat the signs and the symbols. Rings of gold, any type of swimming, water, green, and green hearts. And they have to be green hearts. I'm going to make it tough. Have to be green hearts, Spirit. If you want us to go through this, if you're showing us this week, Spirit has to step up and show us the green hearts. So, and the number 333, which means you are very much protected. 3 is a very magical and powerful number. So that is why it's very symbolic of you are guided and directed, and you are not alone. You are not alone. So when you feel this week, know that you're not alone. Know that everybody goes through this. It doesn't make yours less important. It doesn't make you less important. You do matter. And so process this. Don't just bury it. Don't just bury it underneath in the ground like this guy's doing or this girl's doing. Emerge from it and deal with it and rise from the ashes. And know that you've got this. You've got this. You have everything you need inside of you. And if you feel like you don't, then that's when you need to ask for help. So I love you guys so much. And be watching. I'm going to have more Spirit Circles coming up. And I have an awesome class, an online class that I'm preparing right now. I'm in the process of making it. It's called The Connection. It's going to teach you how to connect to Spirit better. It's going to be like a 6-week course. It's going to do lives, have all the things. So watch that coming. It should come out. I think I made it in July. So I love you guys, and I will see you next week.